We're live. I forgot. I didn't set the. I didn't set the.
What? And I'm going the teeth to tip, the
Yeah.
tip of the tongue.
Oh.
The teeth, the tits, the tip of the tongue.
Shit. No. Do you know what? I'm welcome everyone. I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna. We could have been saying something. Oh, controversial.
Did we have the music? Did we have the music at least?
No, we didn't, because I forgot. I was pissing about with the video. Okay, I'm going to start it again. Okay. I'll do the intro and then we'll come in properly. Bear with us. Bear with us.
The teeth, the tits, the tip of the tongue.
This is the Renaissance Men podcast, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. Now please welcome your host, Stuart Garrard.
Good evening! Again, to episode 179 of the Renaissance Men podcast. I'm your host, Stuart Garrard. And joining me once again is Jimmy the Sainter.
Hey! Hello, Stu. Hello, people of Earth. We are back. I am back. How are we doing?
You wouldn't think we'd be that rusty, but my God, it's only been 2 weeks.
Well,
yeah. I've forgotten how to do this.
I know. Why? So we will. I can't believe we were live. I can't wait to watch that. That's one for Dennis Norton's bloopers. Auntie's bloopers.
They still do that? I think they do.
No, he's dead.
Probably running out of material, surely, because everyone on it is probably a paedophile now.
They're all paedophiles, yeah. But maybe we'll do a bloopers reel at Christmas.
Well, welcome to the show. It's been a while, Jimmy. Lovely to have you with us.
Lovely to be back.
Oh, no. Lovely to have you with us. I've had quite a dull week, to be honest. Actually, no, before I go on, I'm drawn to the medals behind you.
Well, these old things.
Yeah. What? Are you some kind of military hero?
3 years long service. 6 years long service. 9 years long. That's a Red Dwarf joke, isn't it? No, you know I run a bit. And I mean I've been running like mad recently. I did two half marathons last week.
What the hell? You just casually dropped that in there?
Yeah, I just went out and ran 13 miles.
Oh, fucking Forrest Gump.
Another day did it. Yeah, pretty much. Well, hence the bid.
Yeah, just felt like running.
But these are a mixture. So some of these are just like 5 or 10 mile runs. That's when I run the Liverpool Marathon. You get the Liverpool Marathon one. This is cool. My wife signed me up for one of these. These are online where you pay like 12 quid or 15 quid or something. It goes to charity. And you say, I'm going to run 10 miles or 5 miles, whatever. You log it, you send it to them, and then they send you a medal. And you sort of choose from the medals. And this is a Doctor Who Time Lord medal. Virtual runners.
Hey, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, because, it's a good way to raise money for charity and get a medal.
I'm sure that, forgive me, we'll delve into your heroics in a minute. But I'm sure there was one where you could run the equivalent of Frodo's journey from the Shire to Mordor and Mount Doom, and then you got a Lord of the Rings style medal for it.
Well, it's very interesting you say that, because next what I'm going on to is my wife's like walks where you do your steps. Yeah. And this is, she conquered the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh.
And this one is she walked, I don't know where from, but to Transylvania.
Ah, yeah. I like that. A themed walk.
Yeah. And I'm sure she's done the Mordor one as well. I'm sure she's done that.
I thought that's a great idea.
Yeah. And you get a medal at the end. Lovely.
Okay. Well, medals. Yeah. Bit of a brag, but well done you.
On a thing. This is just a thing to put. Well, where to put your medals, Stu? Where are your medals?
I don't have any.
You don't need it. You don't need a little hanging device for your medals. But otherwise, just chuck them in the drawers along with all.
I think I probably would. Yeah, I think everyone's got a drawer of tut, haven't they? So they would probably just get shoved in there.
Tut? I ran 26 miles.
No, I'm not suggesting yours is tut. I'm saying everyone has. a drawer of toot in the house.
Yeah, that is true.
And
That is
mine
true.
would go in there. I'm not suggesting they are. Oh my god, digging myself a hole here.
Awful
Well
person.
Well done,
Thanks.
Jimmy.
Well, the marathon was years ago. That's it. I could
Yeah.
do one now. Fuck, whatever.
Yeah, just knock one out. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Who's with us? Neil J. Good old Neil. Evening. You guys didn't come up in my YouTube feed. Well, that's weird. That's weird. It might be because originally this show was set to be last week and I just changed the date, so there might be something funny going on there. Who knows? We're a bit rusty. Lacey says, "Run, Jimmy, run." Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jimmy's got the runs. And Lord Doolin is in the house. Let's give him an air horn. Welcome, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Not just the Lord, Lacey and Neil. Welcome, one and all. Episode 179, Jimmy. I was talking about my week, wasn't I? Before I was drawn like a magpie to your medallions. Like
my shiny stuff.
Mr. T over there.
Yeah, I'm going to wear one of them next week, I think.
Yeah, just wear them all. Topless and all your medals, please.
What's the point of having a medal if you're not going to wear it?
Well, I know. Yeah, there we go. As for my achievements this week, I'm down to 12 pounds lost at Slimming World. Look at that.
Oh, that's amazing. I thought.
Thank you, mate.
Round of applause.
Thanks.
I thought you was going to say I'm down to 12 stone, and I was going to go, Jesus.
I know. No, I know. I realised as soon as I was saying that sentence that I'd started it wrongly, and I'd kind of talked myself into a bit of a corner. No, I've lost 12 pounds, but it's going well.
Brilliant.
Every week there's been a loss. You know, it might be half a pound here or a pound there, but it's going down. That's what we want, isn't it?
It's amazing. And is it just eating better, or? Yes,
eating better, not eating as we discussed a few weeks back. My vice is chocolate, sweets, chocolates, all that. So that's kind of I've limited myself to one cosmic whip. It's a cosmic whip, which is a Tesco Milky Way, basically. One of those an evening, just to keep me going.
One an evening.
5 sins, and I get 25 sins. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
And around that, I'm having less carbs, more proteins, a lot more salad. Just
you get 25 sins a day.
Yeah.
So you could eat 5 cosmic whips every day.
Indeed.
That is a weird diet.
It's working. It's working. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cosmic.
Yeah, cosmic whip. I do love a Milky Way, I've got to say. Other brands of chocolatey Galaxy chocolates are available.
Yeah,
of course. So I did that. Quite proud of that. Hay fever's kicking my ass this week. I don't know if there's any other hay fever sufferers in the room. You have my sympathy. I've got my pack of tissues poised.
Well, it's one of those shows. I have terrible hay fever. My son, my wife, some of my bestest friends suffer from it. It's really tricky. In the comments, Stu, Neil J.
Neil's got. This is the Neil J. Diet. Is it eat 100% chocolate, great taste and no guilt?
So he doesn't mean eat chocolate 100% of the time.
That's how I read that.
I bet you did. He meant you eat chocolate that is 100% chocolate.
Right.
So it's very dark.
Yeah. Very bitter and dark, I guess.
Do you know what? I've had it. It's not like dark chocolate. It doesn't taste as bitter as dark chocolate. It's rather nice. But it depends on how much sugar you like. Because I'm not a big chocolate fan. So when I have that chocolate, that's quite nice because it's not too sweet.
Oh, interesting. I've had one of those. I think I've had like a what is raw bar? Like raw bars.
Right. So they're made of fruit.
I'm sure I had a chocolate
cacao. Yeah, they might have put a bit of cacao in it, but it'll be dates and things and stuff.
Oh, okay. It was disgusting.
Yeah. But there's like green and blacks, like 100%.
Oh,
if you want 100% chocolate, it's going to be a lot more expensive than your cosmic whips. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and not as good. I'm telling you now, not as good as a cosmic whip. Neil J has Montezuma chocolate. Montezuma. Never heard of it.
Me neither.
I imagine, is it Montezuma? Like, that's a volcano, isn't it?
That's Mount Zuma.
Okay, have I made that up?
That's Mount Zufius.
And Neil says, yes, hay fever was horrendous this week. I salute you, Neil. My hay fever suffering brethren. What was I talking about? Hay fever.
High fever chocolate
diet. Benj. He can ride a bike. I can't remember if I mentioned this. As I was doing the notes, I couldn't remember if I mentioned on my solo show if I taught Benjamin to ride his bike. But finally, it's happened. It took a while. I think I did mention this, but as you're here, I'll tell you, Jimmy.
Tell me.
Can your kids ride their bikes yet?
No. We barely take them out on bike. I don't trust them on bikes, even though we live in a really safe little road. I don't trust them on bikes.
I found it really, not to deter you, but I found it really tough to the point where we started and then just gave up. And no, he can just ride his scooter till he's 30. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Well, how old is he?
Well, he's 6.
Yeah. You went, my son can finally ride a bike at the age of 6. This just said by a man who's 40 who can't swim.
And
my son finally rode a bike at 6.
I appreciate how that does look. The optics aren't great. And I actually learned to ride my bike quite late, if I remember.
Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah. So perhaps I was pressuring him too much. Okay. Yeah. Competitive dad. But I eventually did it, and it was like a click just went off in his head. We fiddled about with stabilizers and whatnot and switched them around, tried to confuse him, and he just went. And it was literally like a switch went off in his head, and like you with your running, he just went. He just went.
Kept going. Never saw him again. Haven't seen him.
Don't know where he is. Don't know where he is. Could be anywhere.
He'll turn up. Comment section, Stu.
Welcome, John Simmons, scale modeler. Right, lovely. Okay, mid poo is our good friend John Simmons. Well, that's to be expected. He usually listens watches in the toilet, doesn't he? So that's fine.
Can't wait to have him on the show live from the toilet.
Yep. Lacey, did you do the dog treat method? Do you mean like coaxing him with some dreamies? Come on, Benj.
It's where you put peanut butter on your nuts. And you go, if you don't ride your bike, you'll get peanut butter in your nuts, and these pit bulls are coming.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
You never heard that before?
No. There is the stick and the carrot method, isn't there? You either beat them with the stick, not a child. But I guess in terms of horses, or you lure them with a carrot.
Yeah.
So positive or negative. What's the word? Encouragement. What
I like to do is turn the carrot into a stick.
Yeah.
So I just hit them with a carrot.
Just hit them with the carrot. I like it. It combines both methods.
Yeah.
But yes, we use the carrot method. Come on, Benj, we'll get you a chocolate bar. All this.
Cosmic whip. Cosmic whip's coming your way, Benji.
Cosmic whip, just tied on a stick, on a piece of string on a stick. He just went.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's those peanut nuts again, isn't it? Yeah. So John says, I'm imagining you teaching your kid to ride a bike. Yes, like the big train sketch.
That was a good one. Yeah, it was just an obvious mannequin on a little bike, wasn't it? And he just kept pushing him into the hedge. Eventually, he threw him, didn't he? He did catch on fire as well.
Yeah, but it's hard, and I don't envy anyone who's going through it, because they can get just depressed by it, can't they? They just want to give up. He wanted to give up, but we persevered, and he's loving it.
Well, it's 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
he was tired.
Come on, Benj.
You will not sleep. You will not eat.
Oh dear. But hopefully he'll reward me this coming Father's Day.
Yes, Sunday is Father's Day. It's coming.
Do you know, I was actually really quite touched today because Benji's school has a history of making a big deal of Mother's Day, but not really Father's Day. Like last year, they did nothing, absolutely nothing. I know. Usually, the mothers, they get invited into the school sometimes. I wouldn't have wanted that. Obviously, that's
what Amanda tells you. Yeah, I've been invited to the school again, and off she goes to the cinema and for a Frankie and Benny's.
Yeah, true that. But no, they've actually taken time to make a card in school, and he came home with a nice, lovely card, and it was, yeah, bless him.
Oh, nice. I hope
Yeah,
I get
so,
a school card. That'd be
yeah,
nice.
but I hope that's not the peak of the presents, to be honest.
Wow.
Is it wrong to expect?
Yes. From a 6-year-old boy who you bullied all week to ride a bike, you're lucky if you get anything. You're lucky you got the card. You're lucky if he talks to you.
Yeah, true. But no, yeah, Father's Day. So, any Father's Day?
Yeah, well, I was laying in. I was putting the kids to bed Monday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I said to my 6-year-old girl, who's very funny, a very funny girl. Every so often we'll be doing something, she'll go, "Daddy, are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And I'm like, never thinking what you're thinking. But we're late. I was laying with her, trying to get her to sleep, and she went, "Daddy, I know what we can do for Father's Day on Sunday." I went, "All right, yeah, what?" And she went, we can all go to Smith's Toys and you can get 2 wrestling figures.
Ooh.
And me and my 2 brothers can only have 1 toy each because it's Father's Day.
Very got street smarts, that girl.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cracked up. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm not going to
You're
get myself any
now,
wrestling
Jimmy.
figures, but I think I'm going to have to take them to Smith's Toys.
I think so. Yeah, you committed. You made that kind of. It's expected now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. So there we go. We'll see what happens on Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to all our fathers out there, including my own. I suppose I should say happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, Christ! I better get my dad to take me to Smith's Toys.
Exactly, I forget. You become all encompassed, like you. Your kids become your world, and you think, "Oh yes, Father's Day." You forget. Oh shit! I too have a father.
Well, they're like, I guess they're sort of granddad now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Even though you call them, when you're with them, dad, but usually it's granddad.
Yeah. Moved on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That was our week. I don't think I've got anything else.
You haven't
to say. No,
you
we're
have
good.
Nothing.
We're nothing. If you enjoy our content, then there's a number of ways that you can support the Renaissance Men, and I'm going to bring those to you right now. If I can find the right button.
So rusty.
I know.
Pod rust.
Yeah.
Do you remember Pod from school?
I do.
About him in years.
Yes. No, it's a good point. Yeah. I wonder how he's doing. Pod, if you're out there, hope you're well. Hope you're well. You can find us, of course, you can find us on YouTube and Twitch at Renaissance Cast. Hopefully, one assumes that's where you're watching us right now. We are also on Twitter. If you want to come and join in the community conversation, head over to twitter.com/RenaissanceCast. And if you want to support us with a little dollar bill, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm cringing even at myself doing that.
I liked it.
Then you can head over to kofi.com/RenaissanceCast and buy me and Jimmy a coffee. Quench our thirsts in these hot days. Yeah. There we go. But of course, the best thing you can do is give us a like and subscribe right now as you're watching right now. Come on. Let's do it.
Just remembered something I've watched this week, which I can talk about.
Lovely stuff. Before we get into all of what we've watched and all the news from this week, it's time to kick the show off with our traditional segment. That is Ask Us Anything. I saw you quivering, but I've done it.
I've adjusted them. Lovely.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Thank Christ for that.
No one probably heard it.
Yeah. Hooray for me. Enough of that. This week's question is a rollover from last week because I didn't do a show last week. Oh, we didn't mention that. No, we'll mention that in a minute. Lacey, Renaissance Man alumni Chris Lacey asks, this is a very technical, specific question, Lacey. he asks, and it's a question about Jedi Survivor, so it's not necessarily one that I can really answer. Well, I suppose I could give it a go, but it's more. He's looking for advice. I'm going to shut up. I'll do the question. He asks, because I know he's been struggling with this game somewhat, with bugs and such, and he asks, is there a way to reset coupler number 1 in the devastated settlement puzzle in Jedi Survivor, as he's poured the box off the platform and now can't get the ball out? Sounds painful. And the box is just always on the floor, and after 16 hours, I don't want to have to reset the whole game. So that's a very specific. I feel like the games master.
Yeah,
I kind of look like him, I suppose.
you need one eye.
Yeah, indeed.
Hello.
That's a new segment we should do. People should write in their video game cheats.
Yes,
and I can give them advice. The game master or something. I don't know.
The Game Master, did you say? You took the same name.
No, I said the game master. It's a poor joke.
Are you gay? Have you come out? Did I miss that last week's show?
I don't know, Lacey, but I think this is more to the point of and his secondary question is Jedi Survivor one of the most disappointing buggy games to be released this year?
Wow.
And I think I would agree.
No, I haven't played it, but
no,
that's a shame.
It is. It's such a shame. And I was really enjoying the story, and for a long time that was kind of pulling the game through. But even the story's gone a bit rubbish because I'm getting to the end and nothing's really happened. Yeah, so it's been a very disappointing experience all round. Although it started quite well, as it went on, it's just got worse and worse and worse. So, Lacey, I'm with you. Yes, it is a disappointment. Yes, it is buggy, and yes, it's probably one of the buggiest games to be released this year. Oh, bless him, he's given up on it. So, any advice we could give is done.
Very moribund. Dead.
Well, Lacey, I'm with you. You gave up. That is poor form, really, isn't it? Give it a year or two and go back to it, maybe. Giant bag of pish. Yeah. I was very disappointed with it. Very disappointed. But I do still feel like I want to finish it. I've got that way. You kind of want to see the end of the story. Plus you paid what, 60 odd quid for it.
Jesus.
You want your money's worth.
Yeah,
you really do.
Sad.
But yeah, the bugs are disappointing. But I don't know. Yeah, I was just trying to think if there was anything that kind of, if it was just more than the bugs that was the disappointment. I think it's the combination of everything. It's how good the first game was, and how I think that plays a big part. Because I enjoyed that one so much. And then you come to this one expecting. There's that expectation, isn't there? And you kind of, it doesn't live up to those high expectations. So it's like a double whammy, and then it's buggy on top of everything else, and game breaking bits and pieces, and it's just it gets a two thumbs down.
That's a massive disappointment. What a shame.
One erect penis from the Renaissance Man. If we're going to bring that scoring system back.
Yeah, crikey. Well, there you go. I mean, that was a game that you were looking forward to coming out. I mean, we did get a look at the new Star Wars game, didn't we? That's coming out. We saw that live at the expo. What was that?
We've got that. I've got that. That's in my news. We'll move on. We'll speak about that later. Don't you worry, Jimmy.
That's something to look forward to, Chris. And if you haven't seen that yet, maybe that can rekindle your love for the Star Wars gaming franchise.
Lacey also asks, Jimmy, did you enjoy your comics?
I have not read them yet. So Chris was lovely enough to message me saying, if you're near comic book stores, they're giving for free. There's a Star Trek comic that they're giving away. And I said, I'm not. And he said, I've got one. I'll post it to you. And he posted it to me along with 2 other comics. And I just haven't had a chance to read them, but I will. And I will. I should do a little review of the Star Trek one for sure, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Just learn to read first.
He's a good old hairy boy, isn't he, old Lacey?
Oh, I was very touched.
Good old Lacey. Well, yeah, let us know what other comics are. In the chat, any questions? Jimmy, any questions for me? We're light on questions. I did post some requests for questions in my work chat group. They haven't come up trumps, so screw them.
Have I got any questions for you?
Probe me. Come on, probe.
Okay, well, as soon as Father's Day this Sunday,
Go
and
on.
you're talking about presents, have you
Yes.
got the best Father's Day present that you've ever got or given?
That is a good question. In terms of received, I like. In all seriousness, I don't generally do Father's Day in the sense that I don't expect anything. It feels like another day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy with that. I don't need a special day to be praised and worshipped as a father, but I don't know. I think just the nicest things. I'll tell you what I really like: stuff where Ben just put some effort and thought into doing something, even however small it is. Like he went to Beavers this week.
I remember Beavers.
Yeah, yeah, very good. And they just did this just filled out this sheet which says reasons why I love my daddy. I posted on Facebook reasons why I love my daddy, and he
I
wrote,
saw that.
I give him Ribena. He likes it when I pick him up from school with a bottle of Ribena.
So he drinks pure cordial.
Yeah, neat. So and what else did he say? He loves me because I play games. He was referring to Fortnite. His mother was with him at the time, and she told him, "Don't write Fortnite, write games," which he did. But the rest of the list, he put other things down, and it was little things that he came up with himself. He wasn't prompted by Amanda at all, and it's just things like that. Little affirmation from him that you're doing a good job. I don't need a bar of chocolate or a mug or a photo frame to. I just want Benj to, just do something and
I know what you mean. I mean, in this room, I'm not going to spin round, but there's a couple of things that I've had, which is like you mentioned pictures. There's a montage of 5 by 5, so 25 pictures of me and the kids. That was one which I like on a little on a canvas. Which
nice.
I love. There's a daddy thing here of me with the kids, which I love. This thing that they're on, if you can see, it says "Run, Daddy, Run."
Yeah, another chance
that my medals are on. But I'm with you. There's a couple of things in here which are just handmade cards, dreadful scribbles, but just they've done them and made the effort. And
exactly, mate. And it's corny to say, but it is really just those little things that they put their time and in imagination and thought into that can make the day.
Yeah, can make or break the day. Another question from Chris Lacey in the comments.
Yes, this was another rollover from the other week. He asked top 5 90s musical bangers.
Is he talking about musicals, as in the shows?
No, I don't think
songs.
No, just songs. Yeah,
right.
Les Mis, Cats.
Yeah, that's a cracker. 90s bangers. Barbie Girl.
I don't know. I see. I think I'd have 2 lists. I'd have an actual list, and then I'll have a list of like proper cheesy.
Yes.
Not necessarily stuff I'd want to listen to, but if you're in a nightclub and it's a 90s night,
yes,
and these come on, then you're going to dance to them, like Barbie Girl or.
Well, I was going to say there's the Mbop was a banger. There's one that I used to love, and you'll probably hate it, where it starts with like rain, and it goes, "Oh, it doesn't miss me." You know that one?
No.
You stay in your heart forever.
Oh yes, I do know that one. Yes.
That's a banger.
Yeah, that is a banger. Yeah.
Set me free. That's a banger. But on the other hand, I'd say something like November Rain by Guns N' Roses came out in 1991.
Yeah.
That's an amazing song. But I know what he means by 90s bangers. You gotta put, like, what about
anything
Boom
by
Boom Boom? by the Out Here Brothers.
Yes.
Remember that one?
I
You had to
do.
be 18 to buy it, and we were only 16 at the time.
Yeah, we feel like rebels.
Yeah.
Lacey's gone with Venga Boys.
Oh, that.
Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room.
Shakademus and Pliers.
Yeah. Cranberry Zombie.
God, that is a banger zombie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some corn in there. I don't know much corn.
I don't.
I'd have to shove some Weezer in there, definitely.
Oh, what, Teenage Dirtbag?
That's Wheatus.
Oh, Weezer's Buddy Holly, isn't it?
Yeah. Get some of the Blue album in there, definitely. Classics. But also was Wheatus. Yeah, that probably was late 90s, wasn't it? Wheatus.
Who did the cover of Give a Little Respect? That was Weezer as well, wasn't it?
That was Wheatus, yeah.
That was Wheatus.
Yeah. Oh, no. 90s was a good decade for music.
Well, I think technically it was a bad decade for music, but I liked a lot of the songs. Well, compared, I think the 80s were much fucking better. And probably the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. But I find a lot of the 90s songs I like. I mean, you've got all the Oasis and Blur stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. Do you think it's because we've got more of an affinity with it? Because we grew up during the 90s. It's probably what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a layer of kind of nostalgia rises it up. Yeah. But hey, 90s bangers. Chuck them in the chat.
Yeah,
your
keep
90s
bringing them
bangers.
to us.
Oh, we should set up a Spotify playlist of 90s bangers.
Suggested by the crowds. Suggested by the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Crowdsourced. There we go. That was Ask Us Anything. Thank you so much for your question, Lacey. And Jimmy, thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
Let's take a quick look around the channel in a segment called Around the Channel. I've got a sting for that, so bear with me. I think I have.
Oh,
yeah,
is this
around
new?
the channel. Well, we did it, and then it went away, but I thought I'd bring it back because I think if we can't pimp our stuff,
who else is going to?
Oh, exactly. No one else is going to do it, are they?
No.
So let's do it.
Pimp it.
Around the channel, and I wanted to take this moment to just kind of discuss our schedule for the summer, because I put a video out there on the channel just to say, look, it's summertime, it's hot. We've got people got families, we've got families. We hard to find time during the summer when you're out and about and doing things. Naturally, we go out the house more. So with that being said, we took the decision to say, right, well, let's do the podcast fortnightly.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit more breathing space over the summer months to, spend time and go out and do things. Plus, if you're going out, you're not necessarily watching things and playing things. So it was getting to the point where if we were doing this every week, then I'd struggle to maybe have enough stuff to talk about. So that's why we've made that decision. It's only for the summer. We'll come back in the autumn months where we all kind of huddle down and start to watch a lot more telly and play a lot more video games.
And we'll be once a month.
Well, the plan will be to return, Jimmy, to a weekly schedule at that point.
Oh, that's not in my contract.
Schedule or schedule? That's the thing that's worrying me the most.
I think it's American and English, isn't it? In America, it's schedule, I think.
Okay, we'll go schedule. Okay, so yeah. So as of today, we're going fortnightly with the podcast, but we shall return. I forget when I said now. End of August. So it's going to kind of tie in with the summer holes as well. So that makes sense. And we'll see how it goes. If we get bored and we want to do it every week, I'm sure we'll make that decision to do that. But for now, if you're happy, we're happy. If you're happy, everyone's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnightly. I forgot to create a. Bear with me. I need to get the bloody channel up. That would help, wouldn't it?
Okay. Yeah, bring the channel up.
Yeah. So let me share my screen with you all because I just want to share some of the content I've been pumping out. Yes, I understand all that. Chrome tab. That's what I want. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Sorry. That's not very big, is it? Hold ye hard. Hold on. There we go. That's a bit better.
Beautiful.
Here's our lovely channel, and like I say, if we can't pimp it, no one else is gonna. So let's take the bull by the horns and just show you what we've got going on. As always, every Friday morning we have a look into the past of the Renaissance Men in our flashback episodes. This week, DRB and myself from I think still October 2014. So this is pre-Midian at this point. We were talking about the return of Twin Peaks, because they did that sequel series, didn't they? And that seems like years ago. And I guess in reality, 2014 was years ago. But yeah, I can't believe we were talking it in the context of
I thought
this is coming out. It's crazy to me, but yeah.
Wow.
Like little things like that, Jimmy, that just kind of highlights how long we've been doing this. This crazy thing. But yeah, these episodes are quite fun to listen to, so go check them out. Episode 14. I'm sure. I think Medium will be coming on board soon. But we also talk about Dizzy and a bit of Nightmare. We celebrate our love for the TV show, kids' TV show Nightmare. Do you remember it?
Of course I do.
Thank Christ for that. Treguard.
Yeah, Treguard. Sidestep to the left. Sidestep to the left.
Yeah, as they then plummet down a cliff.
Yeah, great show. I loved it. But really annoyed me. It always finished too soon.
Yeah, they did that whole. It was like a dong or something. There was a audio signature cue that meant that we've got to go.
And they got the sands of time have run out, but join us next week. I've only seen these people walk 5 side steps to the left and pick up a carrot off of a table
and spoken to a wall.
Man.
Come on,
crack on.
Yeah. So we celebrate that show, and it brought back some good memories. I remember doing this show, obviously, as I would, because I did it. But yeah, it was great to talk about Nightmare with DRB, because he's a huge fan. Huge fan of Nightmare. And I'd forgotten that they do a live, or they did when we were doing the show. They do a live like stage production of Nightmare.
Do they?
Yeah. I'm not sure. This was probably back in 2015 or 14, but whether it's still, I don't know. But I think it was a great concept. Don't quite know how you do it.
No,
changing the scenes, but it was a thing.
They could do it now in the volume. That would be fun in the volume.
In the what?
The volume. You know what they use for like Mandalorian and stuff.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure we have the budget for that. To be honest.
No. Can we do that?
Oh dear. Or you could just use green screen. I'm sure it's not that hard these days just to do that yourself.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
we could do that.
Oh, they're still going up, aren't they? Numbers.
I know. Rendrex is still going strong, and still getting messages from people saying, "Oh,
really? I haven't checked.
Yeah, as if they've just watched your episode. I think we got one the other day, and it was a lovely message, because he was saying how it reminded him of watching Star Trek back in the day with their dad. So it's bringing a lot of nostalgia back for people.
Cool. I must reply to that comment.
Picard season 3. So and of course, Strange New Worlds has started this week, Jimmy.
It certainly has. I'm going to. I might watch that tonight. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to do a watch along or not. Because
no, God no! I wasn't implying you need to do that contractually.
I won't have the infinity for it. That said, I'll probably watch it and then discuss it on the show.
Oh, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, I think you need
to
do
2 at a time.
Save your watch-alongs for those very special moments.
Yeah.
Keep it special.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've spoken about all these before. The Diablo 4 quick look is something new that I put up. I've been playing Diablo 4, as we know, and enjoying it, as we know. But I prepared a little video. Took on board some comments from the first one I did and added let's get it up. Added a hello and welcome to Jesus. Sorry. Hell, do I sound like that? Fuck me.
No, I didn't even know what that was. You've added your face back. Great.
Yeah. After, because I think you said it would be nice with having a face on it. So I did. Yeah. I don't have it all the time, but when I want to discuss a point about the game. Obviously,
Is that your character?
That's my character.
Yep.
As I
see that.
Yep, exactly. It's me. It's me. That's me. That's going to be my after Slimming World picture. Washboard abs. Yeah, and one of your medals on clearly.
Yeah, they didn't have glasses in this game to put on your character.
Oh, I would have put them on if they had them. But yeah. So go check these out. I'll be doing more of these. I've recorded a Fortnite one, which I did with Benji and Amanda, because there's some new content out for that game, and I love Fortnite, obviously. So when I get around to editing, I'll chuck that up. So it's just another piece of content for the channel, isn't it? It's all good.
It's weird seeing you without specs.
I know, just yeah.
And
I think that is pretty much it. I've got a Lego magazine to do a bench. A Y-wing bomber came this month in the Star Wars Lego magazine, so that'd be fun to build.
Nearly at 500 videos.
Yep. 458 subs.
500 by Christmas, we said, didn't we?
That's the plan. And that's a good point, because YouTube announced this week that if you reach 500 subs, you can now monetize your channel. Ooh. So you can get like people to become members and have super chats, whatever the hell a super chat is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can. It gives you more monetization options.
A super chat, I think, is when you're going live. You're doing live streaming like this, and people can pay to write a comment.
Oh, we can't do that.
No,
that seems a bit filthy.
Yeah.
After it's been free for so many years.
We could charge a penny.
Yeah, the uproar. You thieving bastards.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
No,
but still, be nice. No, it's nice to have the option.
Yeah. It's nice to have to be able to threaten the audience that may come in at some point.
All comments will be acknowledged, providing they're
for a price. So there we go. Go check us out. You know where we are. More content on the way, as always. Right.
It's that time, Stu.
Is that time? Is it time? Oh, it's that time. What do you want to do? Do you want to do hot takes or the Week in Geek? What do you fancy?
Hot take it.
Hot takes? Oh, it's hot take it. Well, let's go. Let's transition straight into hot takes. Hot takes, where the part of the show where we take one of the latest trailers and we react to it live, like the cool kids.
I'm excited.
It's been slim pickings this week, as I explained to you off air before the show, Jimmy. I was going to go with the Meg 2. Yeah,
I thought that's what you had gone with.
No, I've made a late change to the running order because I saw this trailer on YouTube and thought, that sounds like a bit of me. That sounds like a film I'd love to watch.
I was looking forward to. Oh, you're not putting up the hot takes?
No,
background.
That's gone.
Okay,
that's gone.
What about the thing that says Renaissance Man? You're putting that back
we
up?
do need that.
How long's that been down? Who knows? I really enjoyed the Meg. I only watched it like last year, or maybe even this year, and I thought it was good fun. So I was quite looking forward to Meg 2.
Well, we can do that too. We'll see how this goes. But I'm coming to you with a film called Mega Ape.
Oh,
that's Mega Ape, which ironic is also my dating pseudonym.
Was it?
No, it wasn't really. But it should have been.
So you was typing in the word Meg, and Mega Ape came up, wasn't it? That's how
pretty much what happened. Pretty much what happened. But Mega Ape, and the thing with this is, I think it stars Tom Sizemore, who sadly passed away, didn't he? And I think this might be Tom Sizemore's last film.
Tom Sizemore. Remind me of who Tom Sizemore is.
He was in.
Yeah. I know who he is.
You do?
Yeah.
He was in Saving Private Ryan. You know, the guy who collected the dirt in the little cans, and bit mental, and sadly passed.
Yeah.
He rest in peace.
Yeah.
But he's going to be starring in Mega Ape. I should like saying the word Mega Ape. And let me get the trailer up.
Wow.
And we'll take a look at this. I do have some IMDb bits and pieces for you as well.
Good. Is it about an ape, or does someone just go mega ape? Like when you say I'm gonna go ape shit.
Ape shit. No, it does have an actual ape. I'm assuming it's a large ape. I've got you. I think it's just gonna be King Kong. Just King Kong. But should we have a look at like what's IMDb? Because usually they have a synopsis, don't they? What we got? Hang on, I'm all over the place here.
When a businessman gets really angry and goes mega ape, Tom Sizemore.
Okay, mega ape. Okay, you ready? A team of animal rights activists unknowingly releases a genetically engineered ape from a top secret research facility, who soon grows to enormous size and embarks on a rampage of total destruction in Hollywood.
Ooh.
Yes, that could be an interesting twist.
Okay.
Directed by Dustin Ferguson.
Let's
see what his resume is all about. What else we got for him? Mega Ape, Hell of the Screaming Undead, Cocaine Cougar.
Oh, that seems like a bit of a rip-off of a recent film. When did Cocaine Cougar come out?
That's 2023. So is that?
So that's coming out, and Cocaine Bear came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a franchise? Different cocaine animals on coke.
Oh, I've just seen there's a cocaine shark.
Ooh.
I've got to share this.
That sounds good.
Okay. These aren't films directed by Dustin Ferguson, but these are films. IMDb often shows you films that you may like because you're searching for this person's work. And I've got to show some of these look amazing. No, that's Cocaine Cougar. So we've got Big Freaking Snake, the aforementioned Cocaine Shark, Attack of the Meth Gator. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Ebola Rex, Meth Gators, Mega Ape, Crocodile.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Cocaine Bear, The True Story.
Ah, it's the true story rather than the fiction done by Elizabeth Banks.
Murder Hornets.
Angry Asian Murder Hornets.
Oh yeah, I beg your pardon. Ebola Rex versus the Murder Hornets.
This is great.
I know. We need to watch all of these.
Yes, we do.
Oh, there's no more.
Crack Kills. Crackoon. It looks like Rocket, yeah. Yeah, basically.
And Cocaine Sisters.
Yeah.
It's very mundane, really, isn't it?
Comment in the comment section, Stu, just before you move on.
Yes. Pete. Hello, Pete. Welcome, Pete. My dating name would be Barry Attrick. I like it.
I like it.
Or Mr. Mina. Very good.
Oh.
Any more? Pete?
It's a good pun, but if you told someone, it sounds like you're a sexual predator.
Yeah, it does.
Misdemeanor.
It really does. But anyway, back to Crack Cocoon. No, what are we going to watch?
Crack Cocoon, not Crack Coon. Crack Cocoon is our remake of the film from the 80s, Cocoon, but they're all on crack.
Geriatrics on crack.
Yeah, no wonder those old people were so good at basketball. They're all fucked on smack.
Oh dear. No, we were going to watch Mega Ape. That's right, the trailer for Mega Ape. So let me
bring it on.
Let me get that back up. And let's enjoy the delights. Oh,
we can try, can't we?
Right, let's do that, and let's enjoy the trailer of Mega Ape with us all. Let's do this.
Regarding an experimental and highly controversial growth hormone that was reportedly injected in the ape routinely since birth.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I'm getting it, man.
You know what I'm doing, man. Come on, man, pick up.
Is it filmed on video cameras?
Mega-sized ape.
Get me the president.
What was that?
Was that Michael Jackson? Wow.
Dear Lord, what have I done?
Too much plastic surgery, sir, is what you've done.
Genuinely, I've seen better effects.
Indiana Jones is swinging.
Better effects in YouTube productions.
Yeah. That was amazing. That was
I know.
amazing. Where was Tom Sizemore? Did you see
He
him?
was. Yeah, he was. He appeared briefly in the car at the start.
Right.
Should,
They
should,
hi-
let's watch
yeah.
it again.
But
Let's do it
again,
again.
they hired him for half a day. They got a few shots in. It looks like it's filmed on like an old VHS
I know.
camera.
I know. Let's enjoy this again.
It was enjoyable.
After
wanna watch it,
information was
I'm
leaked
telling you.
regarding an experimental and highly controversial growth hormone that was reportedly injected in the
Her
ape
reactions are
routinely
brilliant.
since birth.
That was him
Oh,
on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it, man.
You know what I'm doing, man. Come on,
Something-
man, pick up.
That's him.
Is that right?
We're gonna have to stop her before it's too late.
Now that's one mega-sized ape.
Get me the president.
I'm excited about that guy. I don't even know what he is.
Let's just hold on a minute. Why was this shot in in the trailer? A woman shutting a door.
That was a dramatic.
What?
Dear Lord, what have I done?
I can't tell if his acting's any good or not because his face doesn't move. But I like his look. Can you tell me who's playing that man?
I can indeed.
Indiana Jones is swinging.
Shut up,
Let's-
you.
I know. Go away, mate. Yeah, what we want is the IMDb page, isn't it? Because he
was
looks.
amazing.
He looks like he should be someone famous.
Yeah, he looked like Gary Shandling at the end of his life when he had all that work done.
Mel Novak.
Mel Novak, what's he done?
He was in Game of Death with Bruce Lee.
So he's old.
Yeah. Game of Death, Nemesis 5, Ash and Bone, An Hour to Kill. What else?
I think he's my new favourite actor.
He's in all of these shit films we've had. He's in Ebola Rex,
Right.
Apex Predators.
You see these films, don't you, on DVD in places, and they pop up on Amazon, and you could go down a hornet's. You could go down a mega angry Asian hornet's nest looking at these films.
That's brilliant.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah.
That looked great. I mean, that's the best trailer we've ever watched on this show. I'm 100% in.
Yep. It feels like that's something that would appear on the Sci-Fi Channel in a number of weeks.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. We should do a watch along.
Yeah,
If we
Mega Ape.
get hold of it.
Mega Ape. And hopefully they bring in Mega Ape to the wider shit multiverse so it can battle, what was it, the Murder Hornets and Crackoons.
And Crackoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Some crackers in there. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
There we go. That was Hot Takes. And yeah, enjoy that. Looking forward to that. That should be good.
Me too.
With that being said, Jimmy,
Yes.
it's time for us to go through our Week in Geek and discuss what we've been watching, some of the news stories, and just share the love with each other and the audience. So let's go into the Week in Geek. Week in Geek.
Before you go on,
Go on.
I need to pop away for 1 minute. If you can discuss something without me, I'll be back.
Indeed. Whilst Jimmy goes off and does that, where shall I start? Well, I don't know. I watched Alan Partridge Live, but I'm going to save that for Jimmy because I've got some very interesting thoughts on Alan Partridge Live. Everything I want to talk about, I want to talk with Jimmy about. So that's quite tough. Okay, I'll do some Lego news. So let me just get this. We'll start with some news stories. Let's get up some Lego rumors for you. And this is of the video game variety. And that is that there's going to be potentially a Lego football video game. Lego football video game leaked by the Korean game rating board. I love the concept of this. Obviously, I'm sporting my retro GOALLLL shirt. I say retro, it's a season old. I consider that retro. So if I could play a Lego-ized version of GOALLLL in a video game, that would be magnificent. So yeah, in terms of the story, the Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea has revealed the existence of an unannounced Lego football video game, combining three of my loves. It's kind of, yeah, video games, football, Lego. What more can you need?
Sounds good.
Yeah. The listing mentioned a Lego 2K Goal, which is a bit of a rubbish name, to be honest. That's been developed by Take-Two Interactive. Or
The obvious name is Lego.
Lego, yes.
Lego.
Do you remember when I branded my Lego videos as leg as in egg? Oh,
yeah.
And everyone just thought I'd spelt Lego wrong.
Yes.
Brilliant. What a fucking idiot. But no, I'd be excited for this. A video game based. Obviously, I like a Lego video game, but to throw football into the mix, I could imagine, like, I don't imagine there'll be licensed teams or anything like that. I think you'd be creating your own football teams, maybe putting your mates in Lego form and doing all that. That sounds quite cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be like an arcade, because I used to love a good arcadey football game.
Oh, there'll certainly be like mega kicks and flying through the air and that sort of thing.
Exactly. Or like 2-footed challenges and the players break up into Lego pieces, stuff like that.
Yes, that would be cool.
Yeah. Because I always remember playing Adidas Power Soccer on the PlayStation 1, and that was a belter.
Yeah.
Belter of a football game. So hopefully this kind of goes along a similar line.
Like doing a header, and they'll show it in slow motion, his head spins round.
Yes, or his head comes off.
Yeah, with the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many options, so many creative options. But I think a football game that you're not bound by, I don't know, a license, like whether it's FIFA or, I don't know, Premier League or whatever. I imagine they've got certain very strict rules that they want you to adhere to. Like, well, we don't want any strong tackles or anything like that. We don't want to be seen as like this really violent video game. But Lego, you can just say, oh, fuck it. I know it's a family kind of company, isn't it? And Lego is very much for kids.
Yeah, but that's their company motto, isn't it? Fuck it.
Let's
Lego's
fuck shit
company
up.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Lego. Fuck it.
But so I think there's potential here for some interesting new footy game things to go on, mechanics, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. Could be fun. No idea about when it's going to come out, but rumored to be developed by Sumo Digital, who developed Sackboy: A Big Adventure and Team Sonic Racing.
I've seen Sackboy being played. I haven't seen Team Sonic Racing.
It's very Mario Karty, but with like Sonic the Hedgehog characters. Yeah. So yeah, very family friendly. So they've got, if it is Sumo Digital doing it, then they've got family gaming chops. They're used to doing stuff in that realm. Yeah, so there we go. Looking forward to that being announced.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What else you been up to, Stu?
What have I been up to? Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're back because I want to talk about. I've got two things I want to mention that I've been watching I think you'd be A, interested in, and B, would enjoy. First thing,
Okay.
Breeders. Have you seen Breeders or mentioned Breeders?
No, I think you've mentioned Breeders to me before.
So Breeders is very, very much in the Motherland vibe. It stars Martin Freeman. It's on. I think it's an FX thing, but it's on Sky over here. But in terms of like production wise, it's an FX thing, which I guess is ultimately it's Fox, isn't it? So it's going to be owned by Disney. Everything is these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regardless, let me just bring up the details of it because I don't want to get any of my facts wrong. Because I do.
Oh, God forbid we ever got something
Exactly.
wrong on this show.
So it's created by Chris Addison. You know Chris Addison, don't you? The comic Chris Addison.
I know the name. I'm gonna have to look at him pretty.
Anyway, let me share this.
Bring him up.
Yeah, I've got it. Too worry.
Chris Addison, famous comic. Yes, yeah.
So he's the brains behind it. I'm not sure. I don't think he necessarily wrote it, but I think he's an executive producer, and I think like the core concept of the idea came from him. And as I say, it stars Martin Freeman, and I want to get
This came out a while back, right?
It did. I think the first series came out in 2000, and I think it's up to series. I want to say 3 or 4. But we're on. I think we're on series 2, and it's an excellent show. Very funny. Martin Freeman is. I like Martin Freeman. I know he's. I think he can blow hot and cold for some people. Not everyone. I think people might be a bit sick of him, but I think he's great. I think he's a great comedic actor as well.
He was wonderful in The Office. He was great as Bilbo. The only thing I'm not I love him in Sherlock. The only thing I'm not sort of enjoying him really is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He just seems it just seems a bit miscast.
That's fair, but he's perfectly cast in this. He plays a father of 2 who's dealing, as Motherland is about. It's about dealing with parenthood, and kind of battling with those struggles that parents face on a daily basis when you've got 2 kids who are below 10, and how you kind of juggling your life, your job, your parents, all the things that life can throw at you. So it's very relatable for me and myself, and I'm going to say for yourself and for any parents out there, in the way that my Motherland is as well. But what I particularly like about it, as it is from the male perspective, very much so. It's from Martin Freeman's perspective as a father. So I think that makes there's more of a connection there for me. It's more relatable, isn't it? Because we are dads.
Yep.
And just some of the things he goes through, I can see myself in him so much.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he does that great thing, and the series does that great thing where I think anyone could pick a part of that character and see themselves in it. Whether it's his uncontrolled rage at his kids sometimes that he's trying to battle against. His relationship with his own parents and how awkward that can be, and how just that how you're trying to be trying to not be what your parents were. That's a big thing for me, is try to not do better, because that sounds like I had a horrendous
that sounds
upbringing.
harsh. Yeah,
I know it doesn't, and I don't mean that way, but I think everyone's always looking to maybe give your kids the opportunities that maybe you didn't have as a kid. Try and that continuous improvement, I guess.
I try and give my kids less opportunities than what I have, because I don't want them to get to I don't want to get my level.
No, that's fair. So yeah, it's a very relatable show, and it's very funny. And it's I've been watching it on Sky Comedy, so it's going to be on Now TV, I would imagine, or I don't know where else you would find it, but I think it's certainly from what I've watched. I think it's a Sky production. But yeah, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Half an hour episodes.
Half an hour episodes, 10
Nice.
episodes a series, so a bit longer than the
I like that.
a traditional kind of comedic 6 episodes series. But yeah, and it does that whole thing. It's both funny, but there's moments where reality kicks in, like a child gets sick or something happens, or it kind of brings you back down to the reality of being a parent and having to look after these little people and kind of bring them up through this horrendous world we're living in. So it's kind of got that emotional edge as well, but it doesn't feel exploitative or anything. It doesn't feel like it's just throwing that in there. I think it earns a lot of its emotional moments.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is and what I found quite interesting is the first series, the kids are very young. I say very young, they're certainly below 10. And they made a conscious choice in series 2 to recast the kids to be older. So they're now like in their teens, early teens, mid-teens. And they did that because they wanted to kind of show another, show another side of parenting.
So they skipped forward some years, did they?
There's a time, there's definitely a time jump from season 1 to season 2. But I initially I was a bit disappointed with that, but it does open up a lot more narrative angles that you can go with. And the kids are now teenagers, and they're having to battle with different issues when you've got teenagers as opposed to having 2 kids below 10. So it does like mix things up. I don't know what happens in the 3rd series, whether they then do another time jump, but I think that's quite interesting how they've done that.
The kids keep getting older and they stay the same age. By the last series, the kids are older than Martin Freeman.
Yeah. It's like Benjamin Button, like everyone ages in reverse kind of thing. So yeah, very good. Breeders. Sky comedy, Martin Freeman, very good. Very good.
I'm gonna check that out.
The second thing I've been watching is Alan Partridge Live, Stratagem. Have you seen this?
I saw it live.
Did you?
Do you remember me and my dad went to watch it?
Did you? Did you mention this on the show?
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry for not listening.
That's okay. We went to London, me and my dad.
Yeah. What did you say about it? Because what shall I say? What I thought about it?
I said that some of it was very funny, but some of it was weird because you might remember this. Watching it in a stadium was weird. That Alan Partridge could pack a stadium.
Yeah.
So it sort of was. It didn't make sense. If you're watching it in a little hall, and he was doing big production value for 200 people, then that would be funnier.
Yeah.
It'd make more sense. But I enjoyed lots of it, and
I thought it was a very strange experience watching it. You're right in the sense that it doesn't thematically, it doesn't seem to fit.
Yeah.
Being because I think the taping I watched was, I think it must have been the O2, which is
that's where I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, it's probably the one you saw. And there was times where I swear Steve Coogan was looking at the auto cue, just trying to read his lines. And I don't know if he was in character as Alan doing that, or if it was just because Steve Coogan was so ill prepared for the show, he had to read his lines. I don't know. I don't know where I sit with it, but it was just a very strange show. Very strange. And I didn't find it that funny.
No, loads of it isn't. There's some bits that crack me up.
Yeah.
There's some great bits. I enjoyed him talking to himself in the past.
That was good. Yeah.
Played by the woman. The attractive woman playing him as a young boy.
You look fantastic. No, you look sensational.
And I did enjoy the Irish character he does now, the lookalike, the Partridge lookalike. Yeah. But the ending's weird as well, isn't it? Where it's like a sort of, isn't it like a love? It's a love letter to, is it his ex-wife or someone? It's all just a ploy. Have you watched it all?
Yes, he does. It is ultimately, isn't it? Yeah.
It's
Isn't there
just
like
a ploy, and he comes clean to try and win his
yeah.
girlfriend back.
Yes. Yes. And there's like a montage of like just a musical number, doesn't he? Of like 80s hits, because it was weirdly the I guess you want to call it the film, you know what I mean, the taping of it kind of fast forwarded through like the last segment of the show as if they didn't have the rights to show the music.
Oh, really? What, on
Yeah,
Prime?
yeah. And
That's weird.
it is weird. And I don't really know what happened there. And they play like, so you miss half of the ending, which is kind of, I guess, why I'm a bit reticent to say I understood what happened at the end, because they kind of, yeah, it was, he revealed that he was the reason why he was putting on the show in the first place. And then they do a musical number, and which fast forwards through 2 or 3 of the songs, and then kind of if it then ends. It's very strange, very strange.
Strange.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love Alan Partridge, and I don't personally. I didn't particularly enjoy this. I just don't know how well Alan works on a live stage.
No,
You know, and maybe it is because he was in a big arena, and it just doesn't suit what he was trying to put on, like this self-help kind of, you know, very corporate self-help program that he'd compiled. I felt like it should have been in a small hall in the Mica or something.
Yeah, I've seen him twice live. I saw him when I was about not 18, I think, in Norwich, I think it was, and then recently. And both times you go, there's some funny stuff there, but it's like when shows do children in need or comic relief, like you have the comedians on doing it. It's never as good as the show. Is it? It's very rare that the live shows are as good. I saw the League of Gentlemen live as well, and it was good, but it's never as polished or as cut together as well. Or and Partridge, like some of the funniest stuff, I think, is his Mid-Morning Matters.
No, gotcha.
It's just insular, him and Psychic Simon in that little radio box, or his podcast. You know, the 2 series, they're amazing. But yeah, when you're on that grand scale, it's not as good. And he does a lot of jokes about. He does quite a few political jokes and stuff, doesn't he? In it, and I was like, don't do politics, like, just be an idiot.
And I swear he was, and he was doing jokes, like political jokes, as if it was Steve Coogan doing a political joke. Alan Partridge, I imagine Alan Partridge in character is very much a staunch conservative.
Yeah, big time.
So why would he be criticizing like conservative policy or whatever in character? It just kayfabe wasn't right.
Yes, he is a Brexiteer. He is a you know, like, he really loves the fact in one of the podcasts he's talking about the woman who he fancies. Have you listened to the Oast House podcast?
I have, the first series, yeah.
Oh, the second series, he decides he fancies his neighbour. And one of the things he finds really attractive about her is she's the first one on the street to stop applauding the NHS. And when he goes, and I stopped after that, and we'd go out there on the Thursday and just look at each other. And I think she says something like she cleans up the shit after her horses, but she doesn't get a round of applause for it. So yeah, you're 100% right with the political stuff. It doesn't work.
Pete says Stratagem wasn't funny, was it? I didn't find it particular. I mean, it had moments, as Jimmy said, but yeah, broadly, I mean, you look at, they pan across to the audience and they look bored. I didn't see you, Jimmy, but there wasn't much.
I laughed quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was better. It was probably better live because you're watching Partridge live, so that's quite exciting. And all his dancing is funny, but that's clowning around the dancing, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not clever writing.
Pete says the opening was excruciating, but you don't get it right every time, I suppose, and that's true, you know.
Yeah, he gets it right more times than.
Yeah, and even bad Partridge is still pretty good, you know. I would say. But yeah, that was on Amazon Prime. If you do want to check it out and see what I'm banging on about, and if you know, I think it is worth watching if you're a Partridge fan.
Yeah, there's
so
some bits.
there are some moments in there where I was genuinely chuckling away.
I think I tried. I was watching it on Prime a while back because I saw it come on. I was like, I'll give that another go, see if it's more fun on Prime. And there's one bit that I fucking wet myself at, which was when he's going back in time through theatre, and there's images of going back through time, and you hear like Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall,
Yes.
and then you see Freddie Mercury, and it just goes, "I've got AIDS."
I'd forgotten about that. Yes, that's quality.
I've got AIDS. They just shouts it out like it's a celebration or something. That was the funniest bit in the for me.
And that's for me. That's a very mid-morning matters thing.
Yeah,
where he would do his own kind of like stings, wouldn't he?
Yeah, his famous quotes he'd put in there, wouldn't he, as well?
Yeah, so there are moments of cracking Partridge in there. So it is. I think it's worth checking it out on Prime, as I say.
Yeah, go for it. Stu, just before you carry on, comment
my friend.
section from Roggy. We missed.
Oh, Roggy! Hello, Roggy. Welcome back, Roggy. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Would you mind starting again?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, we started twice at the beginning anyway.
We did. Go back and watch us. We had a false start, but I think we styled it out personally.
Yeah, we covered it. Oh, and we missed Pete Turner's huge ass about his
huge ass
online profile.
Yeah. Well, Pete. Comedy gold. In terms of what I've been watching, that's it, Jimmy. So, is there anything that you wanted to mention at this point? What have you been up to?
I've been just rewatching lots of comedies like The In-Betweeners and The IT Crowd and things like that. Yeah, it's nice, familiar stuff. But what I did watch, which was the new Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary.
Oh
no, the documentary.
Oh, okay, right.
Oh, I've watched 1.5 episodes of Fubar, and it's really hard to watch.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's really bad.
That's a shame.
But it's Arnie, so I probably will go back to it because I love Arnie. But a documentary on Netflix was obviously part of the deal of getting Fubar, that they did a documentary. 3 episodes, an hour long each. The first one is about his bodybuilding career.
Mm-hmm.
The second episode is about his acting, and the third episode is about his political career. Yeah. And it's really good. He's in it from the start. He's like looking through pictures in his on his ranch or whatever it is he has, and just talks you through his whole career. And he's just had an incredible life. Like no one else has done that apart from this fella here.
Sorry, Jimmy. Benj.
That's all right.
What?
You all right?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Why did your card?
You're writing my card?
I did.
Oh, my Father's Day card. Oh, bless your heart.
Mommy told me to.
Mommy told you to. Okay, don't ruin it. Ruin the magic.
Ruin the mystique.
Where you going?
I shall be right back.
Okay, you. There we go. Okay. Don't fall and crack your head open, for goodness sake. We'll have the social services onto us. He's planking.
Oh, he's done it. He's cracked his head open.
Carry on, Jimmy.
Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's very good. It's a complete deep dive into his entire career. And he's, as I say, he's just had an incredible life. He became the best at these, he became the best at bodybuilding. You a fan of Arnie? Benj?
Are you a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
What?
The man who says, "Get to the chopper." It is not a tumor. No.
How do you expect me?
No, I know you're only 6.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'd watched Running Man by the time I was sick, Benj. So
yes.
pull your finger out, mate.
Right, no, Benji.
See you.
Love you.
Mwah.
Love you. See you later. Sorry.
Yeah. Jesus. So unprofessional. The bodybuilding.
Yes.
He was the best bodybuilder ever. He's the best bodybuilder in the world. He took it to new heights, and then his act. He wanted to be a movie star, and he certainly became. He's a one-off, isn't he? And then
Oh,
he
very
wanted to
much
get
so.
into politics, and he got into politics. It's quite incredible. He also speaks about his estranged son that he had. You know about his estranged son?
Oh yeah,
Um,
I didn't know
he
he had a
had,
son.
Good night.
yeah,
Why don't
he's
you
got,
be-
I think he's got like 5 kids or 4 kids.
Is he
He's got,
really?
yeah,
Blimey.
he's got his kids with the Kennedy woman he was married to.
Yeah.
And then he's got his son, which he denied was his son for a long time, who was the son of their housekeeper.
Right.
And I mean, he looks just like it. Like the kid, like he's 20 odd now, and he's like he's muscly. He looks just like it. It's hilarious. You can only deny it for so long.
Yeah, indeed.
and that was the end. And I think he lives on his own now. He's 75. He lives with his llamas and donkeys and stuff. But it was just quite a balls deep documentary, and you got people like James Cameron talking, Danny DeVito, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
He looks great still, you know.
He is an absolute cinematic icon, isn't he? You know, we've spoken in the last few weeks about has the age of the Hollywood action
Movie star.
the movie star come and gone.
Yeah.
I think it might be transitioning away from that, and he was certainly, in the 80s, him and Stallone.
Yeah, Stallone's on there as well.
Is he?
Talking about their rivalry.
Great. That's brilliant. I need to watch this because I'm a huge Arnie fan. I think anyone born in our era, I think, grew up with Arnie and is doing his action films and his comedy films. I think he's a very good comedic actor. I love Jingle All the Way. I love Twins.
Twins is amazing. Jingle Always, I enjoy. It's good fun.
Yeah.
And blooming True Lies. Him and it's a very funny film. Him and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
But he, he's not a good man, really. He's got his massive faults. Even when he was running for office, loads of women came out about him being a Mr. Titty Touch. He owned up to them all. He was like, it was back in the day when he was just on Muscle Beach and he just thought he could have anything. He just sort of had the world, and he took more than what he should have, And I'm not justifying or anything. It was bad, and he says, it was bad. He knows it was bad. So he's not always been the best man, but he's just an icon, isn't he?
Oh, very much so. And do you know what? He learned his craft as well, didn't he? Because I think it's fair to say, when he started out in the filmmaking business, his big breaks were him playing very, very wooden, robots, basically.
He played Hercules first, and they dubbed his voice.
Yes, they did.
And then he did some TV shows, which they show, and it's very interesting.
Really? But he's learned his craft, isn't he? And I think he's kind of, I'm not saying he's a fantastic, amazing actor, but he's got a presence. He's always had a presence on screen. And I think he's done well to learn his craft through the years, and fair play to him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, he's a one-off, he's fascinating. So it's a great documentary, 3 episodes, an hour long. Look, there you go. It's spliced up.
Brilliant.
Check it out, Netflix.
Happy days. I saw it was on there.
In one day, I think.
Did you? How long are the episodes? Did you say?
Hour.
An hour. 3 episodes at an hour. Okay. Yeah, not too shabby, Arnie.
Just before we move on, Stu, comment in the comment section.
Oh, have I missed something?
Well, it's just Pete Turner keeps coming with his online dating names with these.
Just in case he felt a snatch.
Yeah, that's Arnie's. That's Arnie's name, isn't it?
Yeah. Anything else, Jimmy, that you've been, other than you're reminiscing with your comedy and your Arnie?
No. That's the only thing I watched, and the rest is, as I say, just in between as Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Mike Oxlong. That's good. I haven't heard that one before. Mike Oxlong. I like it.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you, Jimmy. It's got some news.
What you got for us?
Very video game heavy this week. It was very much a week for the big video game companies to come out with what's the games and such that are going to be coming out later in the year. Xbox had an event. Ubisoft had an event. Everyone pretty much had an event. Have had an event. You know, a showcase, if you like, over these last 2 or 3 weeks. Sony had one a few weeks back. You know, it's the summertime is the traditional time when the video game companies come out and tell you what's on their slate for the year ahead or years ahead. And I'm not going to go through everything because there's so much to talk about, but I just wanted to. I've got a couple of kind of personal highlights for me that I'm really looking forward to. The first being the return of Fable. Do you know what Fable is as a franchise?
I've seen the game. I've never played it.
No, that's fair. Fable is a very kind of British, very British in its presentation and humor and writing. It was developed in Britain by, oh God, can't remember the guy's name, Peter Molyneux and Lionhead Studios, who were a very prominent British development studio. They've now kind of been bought up by Microsoft and dissolved into the big Microsoft conglomerates. They no longer really exist. But Microsoft, obviously, when they bought the company, they bought the franchise, the Fable franchise, and they're releasing a new Fable game. And it looks like, as I'll get up in the trailer, which I'll present to you, is very much a role-playing game, you know, based around fables and fairy tales, set in that kind of fantastical world, but retaining that very British sense of humor, which I think is a key thing about Fable. That's kind of like its unique selling point, is the fact that it's very British and has a very British sensibility about it. So I'm going to bring the trailer to you. I forget when this is. I think this is slated to come out either probably next year now. Forgive me, I don't know the exact date on when it was proposed to come out, or if they even announced that, actually. So this is the Fable trailer. It doesn't really show a great deal about gameplay or anything, but it gives you a sense of the style and you know, the kind of the thing they're going with.
Yeah, get out, man. Let's have a goosey.
There we go. Oh, we're not showing it, are we?
No.
Oh, we're finally doing it, are we? Because I was going to make a sandwich.
Oh. Richard Ayoade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Digitized Ayoade.
Let's do it.
Wow. That looks great.
What do I think about heroes? Well, we've all seen them, haven't we? Swanning about the place with their disproportionately high cheekbones and comically massive weapons. Wanker. Roughing up bandits, because they like to rough up bandits, don't they? Living it up with the common folk every single night. On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true hero is me, someone who's breaking new ground with fruit, with veg, on the agricultural side of things. Not wafting around mythical creatures. And that's what they are.
Chicken kicking.
You see, I'm not here to slay legendary beasts. I'm here to conquer the vegetable, not a euphemism. Let's face it, the age of heroes is over. This is the age of innovation. This, if you will, is the age of death. One moment.
That looks incredible.
Yeah, it does look good, doesn't it? Yeah.
This is awkward.
Yeah.
So, like I say, not much. Well, no gameplay whatsoever, but it does give you a good sense of what that series is going to be about, and it's you know, British humor. Lots of kind of Fable in jokes there with the chicken kicking, and what I not just myself, but myself and Amanda loved about the previous Fable games was, well, not myself, Amanda mostly, was the fact that she could wed multiple people. It's like The Sims in that sense. She could, what she did was she would marry a person in a village, get them to knock her character up. She would then obviously have the babies. Then she would divorce and murder the husband and move on to the next. So I should have maybe kind of taken that as a warning sign, really.
Yes, that sounds very worrying.
But that was kind of another unique point about Fable was, the whole Sims kind of life simulation aspect to it, where you could build up relationships and have kids and get married and stuff. Yeah, very unique game and just great fun. Great fun. So that's coming out on the Xbox series of consoles at some point. God knows when, probably 2024 at this point.
I think the wife was a big Fable fan.
Yeah, great series. So that was the one thing that I was really looking forward to. The second, and that we mentioned it earlier in the show, and that was Star Wars Outlaws, which was announced by Ubisoft. Very much long gestating, kind of been in development a long time, and it's Ubisoft doing a Star Wars game, an open galaxy Star Wars game. You can kind of roam the galaxy as a couple of outlaws, I guess running spice, who knows, for various crime lords. I've got the trailer. I'm going to stop waffling. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, because we saw some of the gameplay, didn't we? And it looked pretty nifty. I haven't seen the trailer.
Well, this is I bought the gameplay for us, because I thought, to me, that was more interesting. I mean, it's 10 minutes long. We won't watch the whole thing, but I'll take like a chunk halfway through. I mean, it looks outstanding.
Yeah.
It's doing the whole Jedi Survivor thing where you've got like a little companion that goes around with you. It's not a robot. It's not BD this time. It's a little creature.
A cat thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Very much a shooter. I don't know much about the story. It looks like you're kind of just doing jobs for various crime gangs in and around the galaxy far away.
In the trailer, you saw Jabba the Hutt, didn't you?
Did you?
I think so.
Did you know that? I'm just going to turn it down. In fact, I'll mute it.
When's it set?
That I don't know. I get confused with a lot of Star Wars stuff these days. Even when I'm watching it, I'm having to think, where the hell is this in the grand timeline? But yeah, I loved all this. Yeah, jumping on the speeder and just, pelting it through the world. And there's a moment at the end of the trailer where you get into your ship and you just, they do the whole thing where you go from the ground into space and then into hyperspace. So it feels like a really, I'm sure there's some loading and some kind of mechanical things going on there behind the scenes. But it gives that illusion where you're just flying from going from the surface into your ship and then that freedom to go anywhere in the galaxy. I don't know how many planets there's going to be, but
I was very impressed with that. When you just get into your ship and away you go, because usually you get into the ship and then you see it taking off, don't you, in a different shot?
Yeah.
And then
there's a cutscene and you're then on the next planet.
Well, like this.
Yeah.
But
so you'll see the transition from surface into the lower atmosphere, into like lower orbit, and then into hyperspace. Like I say, it's very impressive. Again, might be like loading screens going on behind there. We don't know, but let's have a look, Benj.
Don't look inside.
I won't. Let me just show the audience. Here we go. Oh, can't see that. It says, "To Daddy, kiss, big egg."
Because you're a big egg. Look on the back. Little egg.
From Little Egg, bless your heart. Thank you, Benj. I look forward to opening that. This is the new Star Wars game. No, look good. Look, you're fighting in ships and stuff.
Yeah.
There's all that.
It's all that stuff.
All that stuff, right? And you'll love this, mate.
Wonder if there's any lightsabers in it. I bet there isn't.
I bet there isn't, but I'm kind of done with Jedis in video games at the moment. I'm following my experience with Jedi Survivor. Yes, Benj. Benj, I'm recording a show, mate.
Guess what would it be?
I don't know, mate. Okay. I'll find out on Sunday.
See ya.
Oh my!
I reckon there's a Milky Way in there. That's lovely.
Whip.
This
is
the hyperdrive. That's great.
And boom, another planet. And it's just strange little things as well that I really love. Is like the fonts and the user interface. It just looks really like fresh and stylish. you know,
There's a little cat with
that looks
dreadlocks.
familiar. Yeah, it looks like a creature I've seen before.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
Looks great.
It does. Yeah,
Looks great, Stu. And that was they showed that at the on what they show on Disney.
this was this. It was on the Ubisoft presentation. Ubisoft, the publisher and developers of it.
You kindly sent me the link, and I watched that.
Excellent. Rocky asks, hasn't there already been a Star Wars game? Yes.
I think there's been
a
couple.
A
couple.
Yes.
Have you heard the rumors that George Lucas might be buying Star Wars back? There's a rumor going around.
I have heard that. That's bollocks.
Well, the man from Power Rangers did it, didn't he? Old Sabian.
Yeah,
he sold
that's
Power
true.
Rangers for a load of money and bought it back for like a tenth of the price.
I wonder if that happened, right? Do you think he immediately retcons everything Disney did? Canonically, I wonder if he just resets the canon.
I don't know.
Or he just maintains the films, the first 6 films, and then Clone Wars, which were his babies.
Well, I heard the other day that Mark Hamill said he was retiring from Luke.
Yeah,
which upset me because in Last Jedi he wasn't Luke, was he? And he still looks good enough because they made him look old as shit in The Last Jedi. So he still looks young enough to do a Luke film.
Yeah.
Pre The Last Jedi. And yes, he's not going to die or anything, but you don't want him to flipping die anyway. Young Luke with a young Ben or anything. Just put Luke in another film, So that's sad. I think George would try and do that if they got him back. But interesting thing I heard the other day, Mark Hamill met up with Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was first starting in acting, and he said to him, "You need to lose the accent and lose the name." That's what Hamill said to Schwarzenegger.
Oh, nice. That went well. Went well.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You
nothing wrong with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think in his first film, in his credits, he's called Arnold Strong.
Okay. Yeah.
In Hercules, I think he's called Arnold Strong.
Arnold Strong.
Yeah.
That's like a wrestling name, isn't it?
Yeah. He then did another film where he's playing a bodybuilder. It was a film written about bodybuilding, and he's in it with Jeff Bridges and someone else, and he wins an award for it, like best newcomer or something. It's really weird.
Wow. I'm surprised Arnold never got into like the pro wrestling world or anything like that.
He did.
Well, I know he's dabbled in like appearing on Raw and stuff like that, but like being an actual in the ring competitor.
Yeah.
I'm surprised like Vince didn't kind of try and because Vince being big in the bodybuilding world himself, but why that never happens? It feels like that should have happened. Maybe in an alternate universe that has happened.
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, when it probably just didn't work in terms of timeline because he did get big in the 80s, and that's when wrestling. He was already like a big star in the 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Late 80s and 90s, and I guess that's when. There certainly seems like there could have been. I bet there was conversations. I bet Vince would have tried to get him in the ring. He would have done.
Yeah.
Comment from Roggy.
Roggy says, the stuff with Benj are my favourite bits. Has he got any more big egg material? He's got plenty of that, mate.
Plenty.
Good. Well, I'm glad he's getting a following because he will obviously take the show on in the future years. This is his legacy. I'm not giving him I haven't got a house to sell off when I'm dead, so he'll have this. He'll have this and the Kofi. The Kofi funds. Yeah, Benj.
That means I've got to get one of mine to co-host, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Roger says the beard looks nice, Jim. You look like an old something.
Wizard. Fruity wizard.
Like an old Jedi, obviously a cowardly one that fled the Republic. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit out of control at the moment. I'm a bit of a mess at the moment.
Speaking of Star Wars, just briefly, my final story is around Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series. And in fact,
what you got?
I've got a release date for you, Jimmy.
Nice.
It's coming to Disney Plus on the 23rd of August. So next month. No, not next month. 2
Month
months.
after.
Yeah, coming 23rd of August. Next week we've got Secret Invasion, the next Marvel TV series, which I'm hearing mixed things about.
It seems like we haven't had a Disney TV show for a while, doesn't it?
No, when was I guess the last one was
Andor.
Are we talking Star Wars? Or are we talking Star Wars and or Marvel?
Yeah.
God, I can't remember.
Because there was a point where it was like that finishes next week, that starts.
Yeah.
That finished next week, that starts, isn't it?
I get the impression that maybe Secret Invasion was meant to come out sooner than it has done. Perhaps they deliberately elongated that break so we could have a bit of a rest.
Sorry, did you say you'd heard reviews on?
Yes, Secret Invasion, mixed reviews. But what I'm liking about it is that some of the reviews I've read are that it's more espionage based than kind of traditional superhero stuff, which I'm kind of interested by, because I loved I think if we're talking like that, we're talking Winter Soldier. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That kind of stuff, which was excellent. So if they can recapture that mood and feeling, then I'm all over that. So we'll wait and see.
Yep, good stuff.
So there we go. That's kind of all my news. That's everything. We did have a quick look to see if any celebrities are dead or had died, and I don't think it had been. Anyone of note, anyway.
Last big show, we had two, didn't we? We had Rolf and Tina.
We did. Yeah, two greats gone too soon. Yeah, there we go. That was the Week in Geek. I've got some and final news for you, Jimmy. Let's send this show off into the stratosphere, into hyperspace. So let's transition into the show closing with and finally. Here we go. Couple of stories for you. Like I said, both kind of warnings to be heeded, I would say. Light-hearted stories by any means. I mean, I think they're funny, but they kind of do have a perilous side to them. So don't brace yourselves. Is what I'm saying. Yep, there we go. That's a hernia. Okay, so you can stop bracing.
Oh, good. What you got for me?
What have I got for you? First one being, here we go. Woman suffers unimaginable pain after mistaking super glue for eye drops.
Oh my God.
I know. And I can't help thinking, is it wrong that my initial thought is, this is some kind of claim for internet influencer clout,
Right.
Done it on purpose.
No, I think people are just stupid.
Yeah.
I think that's so
right.
horrible. Was she?
I know. Well, let's delve into the story, Jimmy. And this is from Lad Bible, one of the greats in the journalistic world. And it reads, in life, we all make mistakes. It's normal, common, no big deal, right? Well, usually, because there are normal stuff-ups, and then there's this. New York woman Lydia Hartman somehow get her eye drops and super glue mixed up. Sure, that should be somehow got her eye drops and super glue mixed up. Yeah,
the lads can't spell it. Lad Bible.
Oh, we have video footage. She mistook the super glue for a medicine, despite the intense smell and it being vastly different in consistency to her eye drops. She squeezed super glue into her eyeballs and under her eyelids.
Oh my God.
Naturally being super glue, it did what super glue does in a super way. Hartman wound up documenting the hospital visit and
He
recovery
was
process.
well happy with that sentence, wasn't he?
Yeah. She grabbed her eye drops from her nightstand one night. And so obviously there was a mix-up. She had super glue. Yeah, the rest is history. And of course, this is what makes me think this is all a big cry for clout, is the fact that she filmed the whole process going to hospital on TikTok.
Yeah.
But let's watch it. Why not? Let's
wow,
give her the fame she showed desperately. Oh, that's not
it's moved on. It's gone. You got to replay it. Go to the bottom left. That should.
Okay.
There you go. I mean, it's bad enough when you got sleep in your eye and you can't open your eye.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, I had to pick at it.
I can open it and not pick it and not pick it open.
Jesus.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean,
she's lucky she's not blind.
I know.
It's surely just a thin layer of super glue over your cornea or whatever it's called, retina.
Yeah,
couldn't be removed, could it?
No, I don't know. It's. I wonder what kind of solvent they use to dissolve it. I guess they must. I don't know. I wonder if this happened before. The fact that they had something purposely ready and available to dissolve the super glue suggests this isn't an uncommon thing. I don't know. Crazy world. And I guess
I can see it. I can see it because they are similar, aren't they? And depends where you keep things. Like we do keep super glue in one of our cupboards near the plates and stuff. It's not anywhere specific. And we have had eye drops for the kids before, and that has been left underneath those cupboards, like that far away from each other. So it's a very simple thing to do in the night.
Yep.
Where are the fucking eye drops?
Oh, fuck it. Oh, shit.
Oh, it's making me feel ill thinking about putting super glue in my children's eyes.
Mm-hmm. My second story for you is more bad luck. Really more bad luck. And I'm all over the place with this. Trouble is, if we go fortnightly, I'm going to be so rusty all the time.
We've said it now, Stu.
I know we can't renege on our commitments. Right, here we go. Extremely unfortunate man was killed by bullet fired at him 20 years earlier. Yes, so unfortunate. Again, from Lad Bible. There are many unfortunate tales out there, but Henry Ziegler's incident is surely one of the unluckiest and most unbelievable stories you will ever hear. In 1905, the farmer from Honeygrove, Texas, dumped his then girlfriend, Maisie Titchener, who took the news incredibly badly. Devastatingly, Maisie ended up taking her own life, but her brother decided on taking it upon himself to exact some revenge. He went down to Henry's home and shot him before turning the gun on himself and taking his own life. However,
just a cheery one.
Unbeknownst to the vengeful brother at the time, his first shot only grazed Henry and instead landed in a tree behind him. So far, it's a pretty tragic series of events, I think we can all agree.
We do.
Well, fast forward 20 years, and Henry is out chopping some trees down on his land, but there's one he just can't budge because it's so big. So instead of trying to axe it down as he usually would, he bored some holes in its trunk and packed it full of dynamite.
Now, going.
While upon detonation the tree was blown to pieces as planned, it also dislodged that bullet that had been sat there waiting for over 2 decades. The explosion sent said bullet hurtling through the air, striking Henry in his temple and sadly killing him.
Jeez.
Unsurprisingly, the story made the local news with the whole sorry affair printed in black and white. So yeah, ultimately he got his revenge in the end, didn't he? Got his revenge 20 years later for his the poor man's sister dying. Tried to shoot the bloke and missed,
Eventually
but he got there in the end. So it's a tale of of conquering one's whatever.
That's of enemies. That sounds like a story from a movie by, I don't know which director it is. I'm tempted to say the one who did. Oh, I don't know. You know when they're telling like a story of how something got somewhere, and it's really weird. Mate, who's the guy who's done that new one like that you like, Asteroid City?
Oh, Wes Anderson.
Yeah, or someone else where they just tell like these little storylines that seem to have nothing to do with them, but it might just be about the tree.
Yeah,
about the tree that they kissed. This couple kissed under a tree. Interesting story about this tree, and then they tell this story which has got nothing to do with the couple.
I got you.
But because that's you could use that.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
directors out there, use that story.
Use it. Horrendously bad luck or good luck if you're the person who was trying to shoot him. So
yeah,
it has you can look at it either way.
Yeah,
look at it either way. That's my and finally for you, and that is episode 179. A bit rusty, but
stop worrying about that. They don't know. They won't notice.
I keep doing it, don't I? I'll never stop doing that. I'll never stop apologizing for the state of the show. Just what I do, man. Just what I do. Let's get over that. Right, Jimmy, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you.
Anything further to add? I don't want to cut you off in your prime. Do you?
We just had a couple of comments from Robbie in the comments just to acknowledge.
Roggy, some bloke died in the Tour de Suisse. R.I.P. I guess that's a cycling event. Also, one of those actors whose face you would know, but not his name, Treat Williams, died. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Let's have a little look at Treat Williams. That's a name, isn't it? American actor, Treat Williams. I do know him. I do recognise him.
What's he been in?
Yeah. Richard Treat Williams, best known for. He's in Angry Asian Wasps. Hornets.
He was also in Crack Cocoon. Crack Coon.
He was in something called Age of Dinosaurs. Actually. He's in a lot of shit. He's one of those guys that just pops up in stuff.
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
May his soul find eternal peace.
Rest.
Yep. Rocky says, sound weird now, out of context. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about dead celebrities earlier.
Yeah.
We can put it in context.
Always. That was episode 179. Thank you for joining us. All those in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. It's so much easier when you do pop up and say hello. I was struggling on that show I did by myself when it was in the chat. So thank you. You make it a lot easier. My thanks to Rocky, Pete Turner. Who else have we had? Chris Lacey. Thank you, Chris. John Simmons, Scale Modeler, Neil J, Lord Doolan. Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. The audio version of this show will be up on your podcast feeds at the weekend. And obviously, if you've enjoyed this evening show, then please do like them and subscribe them. That's what we love.
And share. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Yeah.
And we'll see them all in 2 weeks.
We will. Yes, in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. So hopefully we'll come back to you with a whole host of content that we've watched and bits and pieces that we've done. So yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Jimmy, as always.
Thank you.
And until next time, please take care and goodbye. Hang on, I just need to make sure. Have I set the outro? Yes, I have. Thank you and goodbye.